We used to farm him with Artak, with a very slow run. Then we switched over to Marius, Geomancer, and Maneater, the team that I presented back in January. But guys, are you ready? Are you ready for Ice Golem Hard 10 to be one hit KO'd, one shot, without even being directly hit himself? How does this work? Let's go! Hey guys, SMZ here, we're back playing Raid Shadow Legends. And yes, one hit KO Ice Golem. Do you have any guesses at this point? Pause the video, let me know which champion do you think is gonna be featured here as the main champion. If you've guessed it right, it's definitely gonna be Sun Wukong. Okay, now at this point, you might be tempted to just skip ahead and watch the run itself, but please bear with me. Bear with my rambling for this particular video, especially if you want to build out this composition, because there's a little trick inside here, because I've been trying to make this work for a while and I finally made it work. So there's a free champion that you can get by using the link in my description. That is Narma the Return, a great champion to battle the Demon Lord. And you can get her alongside other crazy good epic champions like Anax, like Uugo, and like Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. How to get these champions for free? Here's how to do it. You go into your Plarium Play and log out of your current account. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email address. Download the game and then play the tutorial, and you will find Narma sitting there chilling in your inbox. And you can get all of these crazy good epic champions as you progress through the game. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Click the link in the description and get these cool champions. The main champion that we are gonna use over here is gonna be, because there's so many champions in the game, so I'm just gonna have to search now. So it's gonna be Sun Wukong. So first thing, Sun Wukong, I have been trying to make this work when I had like a 3-star blessing, which was until last week, and it was not working fully. Sun Wukong still does crazy damage, and he can one-shot a lot of bosses, especially with Shredder, Event Dungeon 20 that you can easily do. 30 is just insane stats. But even with the 3-star that I had, I have been able to make it work with getting his stats high enough. But now with 5-star. So the thing that we want to notice is we want to be able to ignore as much defense as possible. So I made a video on the Shatter buff and why I think that Granite Doorkeep is one of the better fusions out there recently. Plarium have been going crazy with the amount of good fusions recently, isn't it? So with Sun Wukong, now this is very, very important. How much defense ignore can we get on base, right? So if you wear a Merciless set, you get 35%. Add on Cruel to it, that's plus 5, that's 40%. This relic is gonna be essential in making this work, because what this relic does, Gore Crescent, is the next attack after killing an enemy deals 20% more damage on base. So I had this relic setting on 3-star for a while, then I upgraded to 4, and recently because of the Chimera changes with the 4-star Basalt, I managed to upgrade it all the way to plus 15 or 5 stars. What that means is that I'm in total now 40% extra damage after killing. Now why does this matter for Sun Wukong? It matters because of his A2. His A2 after he kills an enemy, which ignores 50% defense anyways by the way, will attack all other enemies with any surplus damage if the target is killed. This attack will also ignore 50% target defense, cannot be critical, but it does ignore defense, right? So that second hit is the one on which this relic is gonna apply, the Gore Crescent. Now you have to remember, will ignore 50% defense. So 40% defense ignored here, 5 here, that's already 40%. Then I gave him this gemstone, which is 3% more ignore defense. We're up to 43, right? Still not ignoring 50%. With a Helm Smasher hit, yes, 50% of the time you will ignore 25% more. However, how do you loop this in? Any guesses? Any guesses? Yes, that's the video I was talking about earlier. That is gonna be Granite's buff that he brings, which is the Shatter buff, which ignores additional 15% defense. So you go over that 50% defense ignore with the set bonuses and with the Shatter buff. The remaining 50% is part of the skill. So you're ignoring basically 100% defense, which is what you're aiming for, which is why this Shatter buff is so critical. So now with Sun Wukong, what we try to do, and again, let me bring him up. We try to, again, with 3-star Rend, I was still using Crushing Rend on 3-star because the ignore defense is still pretty critical, right? I want to max out how much ignore defense I can get. And now that I have 5-star, it ignores 1% defense for every 25 levels. Ice Golem Hard 10 is level 350. What that means is that it is 14% ignore defense just out of a 5-star Rend. It's going to be a bit lower with 3-star Rend, but it's still pretty cool. Now, you have to remember that only the first 2 hits with 5-star are going to be ignored using this bonus, but we essentially just want to hit him once, right? So that is going to be enough. So this is going to be the relic. It gives in additional stats. I'm trying to target to increase as much attack and crit damage that I can put on him. It's still not those insane stats that I've seen in videos with one-shotting, for example, the Event Dungeon Stage 30, with 9,000 attack and 450 crit damage. Yeah, I know I'm talking, this is still 8,000 attack, it's still pretty high. However, I have made it work on lower difficulties, especially on the stage 20 of the Ice Golem with much lower stats. I've done it with 6,000 attack and 300 crit damage. So it is definitely possible. Accuracy, you don't need to worry about. So what are going to be the other components of the team? So one essential component is going to be Eastrid. You can bring another in. So I need to bring Eastrid in because of her increased attack buff that she brings. However, the cool thing with Eastrid is not only does she boost turn meter as well as increase attack, Arbiter can also do that, but she also provides weaken, which is very, very nice. So for Eastrid, the only thing that I'm targeting, Brimstone is nice to have, not important, is just for her to be fast. 318 speed, to go first. Basically, that's her job. Nothing else really matters for her. I do use her in the Hydra, that's why, and I do use her in the Hydra and Curse set, by the way. So I had to switch that around. Eastrid's going to be key to boost up that increase attack. Then we are, of course, going to have Granite because of the Shatter buff. But also, Granite can hit decently hard. He's not that bad. So I built him in a 9-piece protection set because that gives you even more bonus damage with his buffs, that he provides 3 buffs. But also I built him to hit hard. 80% because in many cases I'm using him in the lead position. He gives the extra crit rate, 20% crit rate as his aura. So trying to build out his damage. He's an HP based nuker, so 98,000 HP almost for him to hit hard. Earthy Coronet is very helpful for the Hydra. I am gonna make a dedicated video of using him in the Hydra as well. Nature's Wrath because he does put down buffs. I did manage to get a 4-star soul, not the 5/5 was way too expensive, but I got the 4-star from his path. And of course Helm Smasher as the tier 6 mastery. So that's gonna be Granite. So these are 3 essential components. Now, the final component which you can play around, I have 2 options that you could use. One is Calvalax with his poisons, if you can put him in a 9-piece feral set. Calvalax puts out 4 poisons each, and all of those 4 are gonna get applied with this 9-piece bonus damage. Remember, the Ice Golem Hard itself will not be able to take the poisons. However, the poisons will be taken over by the minions, and that's where you're going to target, and that's the extra damage is going to scale off of that. So you can use Calvalax, but what I am using here is the champion, the niche champion that a lot of people use for max damage videos, is Gerptek Mossbeard. I've pulled him fairly recently, he's pretty good. So the idea is to just build him fast, that's pretty much it, and he just needs to apply this buff. Because he puts poisons on allies, but each poison that he puts, that increases the damage inflicted up to a maximum of 30%, which is crazy. So I'm going to be using him. And then the final champion that's left is going to be a wave clear champion. For me, my fastest wave clear is Marius, but Marius is not essential to this build. I want to highlight that. He is my fastest wave clear, that's why I use him. But he's not going to be the one killing the boss in this particular strategy. Marius has been essential in all my previous videos in killing the Ice Golem Hard 10. So how does the team work? Let's jump into the team and I can talk about it. Ice Golem Hard 10. Here's the team, right? So I could technically put Granite here. Actually, maybe I should put Granite there just to get his 100% crit rate as well. So Marius is gonna go up and open with killing the waves. I don't mind him using his A2 on the first wave. On the second wave as well, he can use it. On the boss, I want to avoid that because I just don't want to trigger his retaliation hits. Now with retaliation hits, another thing that's very important to understand here. With the retaliation hits, when Marius hits like 3 hits, for example, and with Slayer it can become more, multiple retaliation hits are triggered, right? So Ice Golem is going to hit multiple times. The first time he hits, when his minions are dead, that time it's not as hard because he doesn't ignore defense. But the second hit that he will hit is when both his minions are alive. He's going to be ignoring 100% of your defense, which is going to kill you. With this strategy of one-shotting, even if Ice Golem survives with a minuscule HP, he's going to hit you with his retaliation just once. That's the crazy thing. I guess because he's not hit directly. So let's go into the run and I can showcase let me showcase the presets first very quickly. So Marius, open with the A2 and don't use again. On this wave, no restriction. Here, I just want him to start with the A1 and then If the boss is left over, then you can finish him off with the A2. Wukong, no skills used on wave 1 or wave 2. On wave 2, I can use his A3 because I don't need it on the boss. And here I just want to prioritize his A2. That's going to be the killing ability. Granite should not use any abilities on the wave 1. On wave 2, he just needs to save his shatter ability. He also provides crit damage, by the way, increased crit damage, which is crazy good. And then prioritize that on the boss. Eastrit is gonna be just doing the weaken for the first wave and then saving her abilities. And then just go, she does this by default as well, so you don't need to put this on, but just in case. Gurptak, just save your A3. That's basically it. And then prioritize it at the boss. With all that said, let's jump into the run. And let's one hit kill this boss. So we start off with Marius should clear out these waves. You can make Marius faster than all of the other champions. So you can, there's a optimization available here to save even more time. But basically, Marius should cycle through both waves, and we are almost through. A bit slower this time around. Increase attack from Eastrid on the boss. The weaken landing as well. Weaken didn't land on this minion, which might be cause for an issue. There you go. No cause for issue. 10 million on the boss. One hit kill. Did you see that? And that's the thing. That's not even a direct hit on the boss, which is crazy. Of course, many times Sun Wukong will by default target the left minion, but this time around, I guess he noticed the weaken was missing, so he went for the right minion. Extra damage, explodes and kills the boss. This is just bonkers. And let me show you on Ice Golem normal on stage 20, which is normally one of the most efficient stages to farm. You can also do this like with 2 champions like this, and this will work perfectly fine. It does need presets, but yeah, you can farm food while nuking this down very, very easily, even if you don't have a Marius. Again, my Wukong by now hits incredibly hard. For stage 20, you don't need him to hit this hard. So I'm just going to be doing some overkill over here. But you can certainly build him up with lesser attack, lesser crit damage, and he's going to do the job. Again, here, the preset's not done. Preset is not done. That's the problem here. I think I know what the problem is, because this is the team that's for Event Dungeon stage 20. So where's the team that I built for this? Yeah, 3% team is actually better. He can do it with 2 people as well, but let me just showcase you with 3 people, and you can get rid of Granite. You don't need it. You will need Granite if you don't have a Wukong that hits as hard as mine does. But with these 3, you can definitely make it work. And the thing is that all 3 of them are accessible champions. Sun Wukong was free, Granite was a fusion, and Eastrid was a fusion as well. Let's see if he's back to his ability. That's the only thing I would fear. There's the extra turn from Granite after killing somebody. There you go. Very, very easy. He can easily one-shot. Similarly, the other team that I accidentally showcased on Ice Golem, that works actually on Shredder 20. So let me showcase that. Yeah, it is this one. Here the presets are in fact correct. So here we are just, it's going to be a super quick farm. I think 4 seconds. Boost up, increase attack, weaken, boom. This is incredible. I would urge all of you to build this, and the things that you need for this team are extremely simple. You need your Wukong build. I personally did not build my Wukong for a long time. It's very recent. I booked him and such. Merciless and Cruel gives you 40% defense ignore. You just need to bridge the remaining 15-ish, remaining 10% to make it the full defense ignore. Shatter is an excellent way to do this. You could also do it by, for example, stacking these gems on a Actually, I would highly recommend this relic, because this relic is just amazing because of this effect. So I would highly encourage you guys to build this team, because this is one of those cases where you just want to build a team to just nuke things down in one hit. And Ice Golem Hard 10 is something that I didn't think would be possible, but it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Helps me out tremendously as a new creator. Thank you very much for watching once again, and see you next time.